Hi, this is Kaplan. I just got back from a rip on this 1981 classic Kawasaki KZ550. This thing's fast, reliable, smooth, and it's like floating on a magic carpet. The suspension's nice and soft, big comfy seat. It's got the disc brake in the front, mag wheels, and it's a 4-cylinder with the 4 and a 2 exhaust, dual exhaust on it. It's got just under 60 horsepower with a 6-speed classic Kawasaki 4-cylinder engine. Hop on, Kenny, we'll do a quick drive-by of it. Thing's a black. This motorcycle came out of the collection of Flathead Jack Mariotti, local collector who's getting up there in years. He's in his 70s. We bought 30 motorcycles out of his collection of 40. He saved the best for last. This is part of the second round. This was one of his personal favorites to ride. It's a Kawasaki KZ550. Original paint, 1981. This bike is an antique, as registered by the Antique Motorcycle Club of America. It's now 36 years old. 35 is considered antique. And traditional Kawasaki quality, classic. Listen to this thing. Engine sounds mint. Put a 4-1 Kirker in this thing. It sounds like a rocket ship. It's nice and smooth and quiet. Let me give you a quick demo. This bike is an absolute blast. Got electric start, chain drive, so it's gonna take off a little faster than the shaft drive model. And it's 100% stock as far as the bars and the configuration of the suspension and everything, so it's completely reliable. Great investment. They're only going up in value. The 70s Japanese Kawasaki's have gone through the roof, and the 80s are next. This is a 81, first year into the 80s, so only 33,783 miles. The speedometer, the tachometer, high beam, low beam, turn signals, everything traditional Japanese quality. Works perfectly. It has a brand new Yuasa battery in it, brand new battery cables. All the electrical stuff has been sorted out by one of our mechanics. It's ready to rock and roll. I wouldn't hesitate to ride this baby to Florida tomorrow. It's a smooth machine. Get out on the highway and rip. Let's bring it inside, Kenny. We'll go over the work order. This baby will cruise at 70 all day long with a 6-speed overdrive transmission, and there's virtually no vibration. It's a Kawasaki 4-cylinder. Nice and quiet till you open her up, and then she's got plenty of power. Super smooth. Kenny's on the back. Between the both of us, we weigh about 400. I weigh 230, he's 210. That's 440 pounds. It'll haul us around like nothing. So if you're gonna ride a passenger, this is a great bike to ride 2 up. Plenty of power. It'll probably blow away most Harley-Davidson Sportsters twice the size, because it's a performance Kawasaki 4-cylinder. Listen to the exhaust note on this thing. Super smooth. After riding this beauty, I can see why it was one of Jack's favorites. Jack had some really cool vintage bikes, Triumphs, DSAs, Nortons, but you know, those all are kind of, vibrate a lot and everything else. This is just a super smooth bike, typical Japanese quality. And the 550 is really nice. The 1000s are kind of heavy, and it's just super light and smooth, and I can't say enough good about it. The LTD model is a custom model. It's got the step seat on it, the mag wheels, the buckhorn bars. The KZ550's got it all. It's established reputation of being a crisp handling middleweight cruiser. This is the second year production of the US model. The KZ550 rocks a 4-stroke Chambers 4-cylinder air-cooled double overhead cam 553cc engine. As I said earlier, the 2-in-1 exhaust on each side and a 6-speed transmission and just under 60 horsepower. And it'll get in excess of 50 miles per hour. 50 miles per gallon, very fuel efficient. It has this single disc front brake, a drum brake in the rear, which is easy to work on, easy to maintain. You don't have to worry about any master cylinders or anything like that. Conventional swing arm, twin shock absorbers. Again, chain drive version of the Limited. The shaft drive was also available, but I prefer the chain drive myself. It's a little bit peppier. This bike comes from the Flathead Jack collection. as I said earlier, and he loved this bike, but was getting up there in years, so he sold it to us. When we got the bike, it had been sitting since last year, so we went through and freshened the fuel, put some fresh fuel in it, put a brand new Kawasaki top of the line battery into the bike. We did a leak down cylinder compression, and it was 100% perfect on all 4 cylinders, and the cylinder compression tested out at a perfect 185 PSI. The spark was perfect. Put a brand new battery, as I said, brand new battery cables. We also put new pigtails in for the batteries and rerouted all the wires correctly around the battery area. And we also replaced a couple of the sub harnesses on the wiring system, repaired the solenoid wiring, cleaned the fuse boxes and the fuse connections, replaced several tube terminals, replaced the rear brake light switch, replaced the left and right turn signal bulbs, so all the brake lights and bulbs work beautifully. Adjusted the tire pressures. Speaking of which, the front tire has probably 95% of the tread on it, has a nice Metzler style pattern on the front. The rear tire looks like it's got less than a couple hundred miles on it too, so it's got the tread on both tires, front and rear, is like new. We also adjusted and lubricated the drive chain, rerouted the clutch cable and lubricated the clutch cable so it's nice and smooth like butter. Checked the charging system output, which was perfect. It's got new oil in it, a new air filter. The air filter was replaced by Jack, and gave it a test ride. So put quite a bit of time and effort into the bike. We did a full detail on the bike. We put 24 hours of service plus parts. We put a total of $2,500 of parts and labor into the bike, on top of the purchase price of the bike. So we've got quite a bit tied up in it. Jack gave us the title. We have the actual state of Connecticut title. It's marked true mileage unknown. It's registered at 28,000 miles. The tachometer shows 33, but it is a perfect state of Connecticut title, so you can register this with no problem. Jack gave us the title. I also have the previous registration for the motorcycle, so if your state is like Connecticut, a non-title state for antiques or classics like this, you can hang on to the title, retain that value that the title adds, and just give them your registration, transfer the registration. So we also did a full professional detail on the whole bike, polished the tank. Jack had painted the rear fender, and he was no professional painter, that's for sure. I think it was chrome. He also painted the forks. Amateur paint job by Jack. He also painted the master cylinder. He wanted it black. He painted the tack and speedo. So it looks good from 10 feet, but up close you can see, he painted it by himself at home. The tank is the original paint, however, which is in good condition, especially considering it's 37 years old. A couple little nicks in the paint. If you look closely, you might find a couple nicks up in the front. No, I don't see any dings on it. No dents. Original tank. The side covers are original paint. They look great. The swing arm looks good. The shock's good. The exhaust system, the original exhaust is in excellent condition. No rust through anywhere on the exhaust. The chrome is the original exhaust, almost 40 years old in the front of the pipe, so that's a little bit worn out on the chrome. It does have the crash bars, which is great. Hopefully you never need them, but if you do, that'll protect the engine cases. Jack also painted the side cover and some of the bolts on the engine. But he loved these bikes, and it was his hobby. He had 40 motorcycles, so that's all he did. He was retired. He tinkered with his bikes, and he kept them in great running condition. And as evidenced by this one here, it's a fantastic antique Japanese motorcycle. So super smooth, tachometer, speedometer, everything works great. If you have any questions about this bike, give us a call, 860-454-7024. I hope it goes to a good home and somebody enjoys it as much as Jack did. He also repaired the seat, the seam on the seat. He put a black silicone in there, but it's original 37-year-old seat cover. So a little bit of patina on the bike, as you'd expect from an antique, but a fantastic running machine, well loved by the previous owner, Jack. So good luck bidding on the bike. God bless Jack, God bless America, and God bless the new owner of this bike. It's a lot of fun to ride. I really enjoyed it during the test ride, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I did. So I'm going to roll it back into the showroom, put it on display till it goes to its new home. Good luck bidding on it.